A delicious pork carne asada is on the menu today. Not only am I going to show you how to put that all together, I'm going to show you 2 delicious sauces to go with it. I can't wait for you to try this at home. All this and much more coming up right now on Cooking with Chef Bryan. Welcome everybody to Cooking with Chef Bryan. I'm Chef Bryan and I can't wait to show you what I'm doing today. It's a delicious kind of a street taco version of some carne asada, but I'm using pork today in my carne asada, which is generally a beef dish, but we're going to do it with pork today. And starting off, we've got to make the marinade for it first of all. So I have some guajillo peppers here that were dried, and all I did was just cut them and take out the seeds. You don't want the seeds in there because they have all the heat. And so if you remove them a little bit, you can control the heat just a little bit. And once they're cut, they go into boiling water and rehydrate for a couple of minutes. I just turn off the heat and actually let them steep in there so that they soften up. And so as you can see, these are nice and pliable, nice and soft now, the peppers. And we're going to add these into our delicious marinade. So let's just put those into the food processor. There are a few of the seeds that are going to get into there, but for the most part we got them all removed, and so that's just the important part. If you like really spicy food, leave the seeds in, and that is a general rule of thumb when it comes to any kind of peppers. So if you're using peppers in different dishes, you want to remove those seeds because that's where the heat is going to be. Now these are the guajillo peppers that are dried. You can see them. You just buy them in the Spanish or Mexican aisle in your grocery store. They generally come in a package, and they're great for the pantry because they don't do anything but just sit there in the pantry until you need them, rehydrate them, and you can use them as peppers. So I always have guajillo peppers in here, and they are perfect for this marinade. So now to this marinade, we're going to build some flavors in there. And so to this now, I'm going to add a little bit of pineapple juice in there. And so if you happen to have a can of pineapple, which I have right here, I'm just going to take a few of those pieces in there, add some of the juice to go into this marinade as well, because we're going to be using pineapple in this dish, and that's kind of a fun dish for that matter. So also to this, I'm going to add some vinegar. This is just white vinegar. Remember now, vinegar brightens flavors. It's kind of like Mother Nature's flavors when it comes to natural brightening of flavors, like citric acid. I always say, you know, if you want to brighten something up, add some citric acid to it. And so that's the same idea. It's an acid. We're going to add that into there. Also to this, I want to add into it some chopped up onions are going to go into there and add some wonderful flavors as well. Let's just take the rest of that, put that into there. There's the onion. If you have any kind of onion, if you have purple onion, yellow onion, that's a yellow onion that I'm just adding into there. That's just what I have. I generally have yellow onions because they're the cheapest at the store, so that's what I use. And so you can use whatever onion you want. Also to this, I want to add into it some lime juice. Lime juice, once again, that citric acid is going to help brighten up those flavors. And once we get all of this put together, ooh, I love the smell of limes. They are so refreshing to me. And so that just, I think that smells really good, that lime. There we go. Now also to this, I want to add some orange juice. If you have fresh orange juice, you can use that. If you have oranges, I just use it right from the fridge. I buy it over at the store because I like orange juice in the morning. And so I'm just going to add some orange juice into there. There we go. And now we're going to add some spices and herbs to this. And what I really like about this is a little bit of white pepper. You can use black pepper, it's up to you. But what I like about this is it actually has cinnamon in it. Now cinnamon is one of those spices that we generally attribute to a sweet dessert or something like that. But this one actually has cinnamon in it, just like a traditional Mexican mole is going to have in it, and add that flavor into it. Now to this also I want to add some cumin for smokiness, the flavor in there. So cumin is the spice that generally you may be familiar with from chili, if you've ever made chili. And so that's that spicy, smoky flavor in chili. Now I want to add just some dried oregano to it. So very simple. Shake some of that into there. And I'm going to add a little bit of a seasoning to this. And I thought this would be really fun. I just picked this up here in this area where I am at Smith's. It's just there in the Spanish aisle. And so you can grab it there. It's just an all-purpose seasoning. You can use a seasoned salt if you have a favorite one at home. This is a pico de gallo with lemon or lime in it. And so I'm just going to add a little bit of that to it so that it will just add a different flavor to it. Also, I like the fact that it has some paprika in it and coloring, so it's going to make our marinade redder, I should say. So let's just add that into there, put that lid back on, and then all I'm going to do now is just stir this up. I'm going to add a couple of cloves of garlic to that, and now all I want to show you is just we're going to pulse it all together until it comes together into a marinade. When we come back, I'm going to talk a little bit about the meat. This is just some pork here that I have. I actually took the bone right out of it and then just cut it into slices. This marinade is going to go into the pork, which will go into our refrigerator for about an hour or longer. You can leave it overnight if you want to. It works out fine. Just cover it, put it into the refrigerator. The marinade is ready. So now all you have to do is just take that, pour it over the pork, and then I'm just going to mix it all around so the marinade covers that pork perfectly. And so that's all there is to this. And when we come back, we'll keep working on these delicious pork carne asada. I can't wait to show you what to do next.
As summer comes into full swing, it's time to fire up the grill and treat your family to a special outdoor meal featuring everyone's favorite Klondike brand potatoes. Enjoy preparing one of our many chef-inspired recipes from the web, or create your own backyard culinary masterpiece using varieties from the full line of Klondike potatoes. Visit KlondikeBrands.com today for hundreds of recipe ideas and make your summers sizzle with Klondike Brands.
Welcome back, everybody, to Cooking with Chef Bryan. Today we're making a delicious pork carne asada version. And so earlier I showed you how to put together a delicious marinade to go on the pork, and that has been marinating in the refrigerator now for about an hour or so. And we'll get it here in just a second, but I want to create an avocado sauce to go on our tacos as well. And that's going to start off with a nice ripe avocado. And I'm just going to cut down to the seed right all the way around it and then just give it a little twist. See how fun that is? And it just comes right off. Using a spoon, you're going to scrape all of the inside of the avocado into your food processor, of which I already have just a small onion that I have chopped up and added into there as well. And the way that I remove this seed is I take the knife just like this, go into the seed, and then you just twist it and that seed comes out. Now to remove that, never ever grab that with your hand. Use a towel to protect your hand. Grab the seed and remove it and set it aside. I actually have a dear friend of mine who sliced her hand right open doing that exact same thing but without a towel. So be smart about that. Okay, let's take the rest of this one out. I love avocado. When I was younger, I didn't like avocado. It was too strong for me. But now that I'm older, I just love it. I think it's great. So let's add that into there to create this delicious creamy avocado sauce to go onto it. Now I'm going to also use a lime in here. The lime is going to help prevent the avocado from actually turning brown in there. So let's add that citric acid. It's also going to brighten those flavors in there. And like I said earlier, ooh, I love the smell of lime. It's just so refreshing. We'll just add that into there. So this is just garlic I'm going to add into there as well. And it's a whole clove, and I'm just going to smash it on there. And what that does is allows you to remove off the paper or just the covering over the garlic. This is actually turns out to be more than one clove in there. Kind of a little deceiving there. Let's add that into there, and just the rest of this last little one, and we'll just put that right into there as well. Also, I want to add some cilantro. If you're not a cilantro fan, don't panic. You could do parsley in there, but the cilantro definitely gives it a very specific flavor. Now, to this, I'm going to add some mayonnaise. And so that's where it's going to get its nice and creamy texture in there, is just the mayonnaise. And so it's a simple thing to do. You could add Mexican cream to this if you have that. You could add sour cream also in addition to it if you had that. It's up to you, however you would like to do it. And also to this now, I'm going to add, remember the pico de gallo with the lemon that I told you earlier, the spice? I'm going to add a little bit of that into there just to tie everything together. And it has salt in it, it has the flavorings in there. So we're going to have some delicious flavors. Also, I want to add just a little bit of white pepper to it. And the reason I'm using white pepper is I don't want to see the black flecks in there. It's just up to you. If you want to use black pepper, you certainly can. It's not a big to-do. And then we're going to take that and just pulse that all together and blend it together. This is why I love food processors. They really do make it easy in the kitchen to make things. And so you can just put that in there and that's going to grind that all together and be perfect, and voila, it is done just like that. There's our avocado sauce. I don't need it right now, so I'm going to take that and set it aside until we do need that. Now what I want to do is start on the meat, but this is a little preparation time because obviously this isn't the meat, it's a pineapple. And so what we're going to do is use the pineapple in our tower of meat. How's that? So when you have a fresh pineapple like this, you're going to take your knife, you're going to chop off the top, and if we were in Hawaii, we could take that and plant it and possibly get a new pineapple plant. Chop the top and the bottom off, and then you're going to go down and just chop off the outer layer of the pineapple and remove the pineapple skin. And what I do is I always chop deep enough so that I remove the eyelets as well. And so they have little sharp pins in them, I should say. So if you're eating fresh pineapple and you get some of those eyelets, it's like, ouch, that kind of hurts when you're eating it. So I just kind of chop and trying to remove all that I can, best that I can. It's just a simple process. There we go. Take those off. All of these here, they're going to go into the trash. You don't want to put them down the disposal because most likely they will clog the disposal. I'll just set them in the sink for now to get them out of the way and then put them in the trash and away they will go. Be so careful because you know, you can put things in your disposal that are going to clog that up, and that's not a good thing. Once we get all of that done, get you a good heavy cast iron pot. We're going to bring that over here, and then I'm going to chop off the bottom, a good portion of that bottom, basically cut it into thirds, right to there. And this big, thicker portion here that I have is going to go into the bottom. To this, I'm going to take a chopstick of all things. And that's going to go right into the stem of that pineapple. And we're going to start to build the actual tower of meat. We'll continue that when we come back in just a minute.
It's no secret, frozen rolls are fresher than bakery rolls. You see, bakery rolls are made in commercial bakeries. Then they sit all day in stores. Some even contain preservatives because rolls begin to stale immediately. By the time you eat your roll, it could already be days old. Rhodes Bake and Serve is found in your grocer's freezer. Simply take Rhodes frozen roll dough home and let it thaw and rise in a pan. Bake Rhodes rolls in your own oven. Rhodes Bake and Serve, hot and fresh, right out of your oven.
Welcome back, everybody. We are putting together a delicious carne asada with pork today, and we're going to turn it into kind of like a street taco here in a little bit. But I want to create up the meat tower that I was talking about earlier. We started off with the marinade, which the meat has been in marinating now. We have our avocado sauce over here in the food processor that is ready to go on the tacos. Now we're going to start with this meat tower, and I like to use a chopstick like this in pineapple, just like this. I used a knife to kind of drill out a little center there, and then I really push down so I have a nice sturdy chopstick in there. And I like it because it's thicker at the base and has a nice pointy tip on it, because this is what we're going to do next. How many of you have gone, see, just push that right over. How many of you have gone to like gyro shops, Greek food places, and ordered gyros, and they have that big piece of meat that is cooking there, and they just kind of shave off some of the pork in there or the lamb, whatever that they have in there? That is exactly what we're going to do here. So I'm just taking this, and we're going to start to create up our layers of various meat here. And so you can just see that, let that kind of lay down. That's why I wanted you to get a nice cast iron pot, because this is going to go into the oven. You can do this right on the grill if you want to. It's just up to you, however you would like to do it. Making sure there's lots of marinade in there. Just kind of let that lay down on there, because then we'll shave this off as it begins to cook. And this is a great way to have hot food service for many people who may be coming at various times at a party. You can put this out on your grill and then shave off the meat that's cooked on the outside as you need it. And so it's a very simple way to do that. Now what I like to do about halfway up is I'm going to take this other little piece of pineapple here. If it's a little thick, just take your knife. You can cut that in half so that that's a little smaller. And I'm going to take this and put it right into there as well to help stabilize our tower of meat. Also, all of the meat is going to have pineapple on it. Remember, the marinade has pineapple in it too, so that's important as well. Let's take that, just kind of push the rest of these onto there. I have my oven preheated now to about 450 degrees. I'm going to put this right into my cast iron pan here, and then I'm just going to set it into the oven. I've taken the oven racks out, so I have a lower, or I should say, I put the oven racks in an arrangement in the oven so that I have the lower oven racks done. And so that'll be nice. Make sure I've got all of that out of there. I'm going to take this other little piece of pineapple, put it right onto the top. And as this meat cooks, it's going to marinate itself. The juices are going to come out to the bottom of the pan. We'll use that pan to actually kind of marinate and brush on the rest of the meat as it begins to cook. So when you're doing a meat tower like this, remember, it's going to cook first from the outside and then work its way in. So even though the outside looks done, it may not be finished, obviously, because it's cooking from the outside in. So now that that's all done, let's just kind of take that. I'm going to put it into my cast iron just like that. This is going to go into the oven so that that meat will cook. Now, you can do this right onto the grill if you want to. You can actually build it on the rotisserie if you want to on the grill. Do it sideways. Just make sure it's well compressed together so that you have lots of weight on there so that it doesn't fall apart as it begins to rotate in the rotisserie. So that's just up to you, however you build the rotisserie, but you can do this in a rotisserie as well. So this is now ready for the oven. I'm going to get that into the oven. Our avocado sauce is ready. The marinade that the pork was in, there's not enough of it here that I'm going to worry about, so I'll discard that. So let's get this into the oven here and get this cooking up. Oh, that's kind of heavy. I like the cast iron because it's going to be a nice even heat on there. So let's put this right into there. There we go. Leave that in there. Like I said, it's going to take about an hour in there to get those outsides really nice and charred and cooked. We'll slice that off, serve that right on top of some delicious corn tortillas. Oh, this is going to be so good. I can't wait for you all to try this at home. So when we come back, we'll finish it all up and we'll have some delicious tacos, pork carne asada style.
As summer comes into full swing, it's time to fire up the grill and treat your family to a special outdoor meal featuring everyone's favorite Klondike brand potatoes. Enjoy preparing one of our many chef-inspired recipes from the web, or create your own backyard culinary masterpiece using varieties from the full line of Klondike potatoes. Visit KlondikeBrands.com today for hundreds of recipe ideas and make your summers sizzle with Klondike Brands.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's finish up this delicious carne asada pork version of tacos. I can't wait for you to try this. It is truly amazing. I pulled out the tower of meat here from the oven. I've been slicing pieces off of it, snacking on it because it is so delicious. And all you're going to do is just take it, and those pieces that are kind of hanging down, you're going to slice those off. It reminds me like of a Brazilian churrascaria. And so you can just take those, slice those off, and then it goes back into the oven and continues to cook. It's a great idea for guests that are coming at various times so that you can actually serve them hot food. So that's going to go right onto our corn tortilla now. It smells amazing, everyone. I seriously can't wait for you guys to try this. Let's just take some of this meat. So these are nice, big tacos that people can just dig into. Fold that corn tortilla around it. It'll be great. I have some green onions that I've chopped. We'll add some of the green onions onto there as well. A little bit of just some chopped cilantro we'll add there onto the top of it. As well as I have just some avocado. And we're going to take that avocado and we're just going to put a couple of slices right next to the pieces here so people can enjoy the avocado, as well as a piece of lime to go onto there. And we do have our delicious avocado sauce that we made earlier. It is so good. I have to admit, I've been dipping chips in it, so it's a great chip dip also. So that's how I do it. A little couple of slices there. We have our lime here. Let me rinse off my knife here. And then we'll put some lime onto there, just a slice to go with each one. There we go, just like that. It smells amazing. Seriously, I can't wait for you to try it. You're going to be your next family and friend's favorite chef for doing this one here. Put a dollop of the avocado sauce on top of it. You've got seriously the best little carne asada tacos, pork version, of course. Now you can go right to cookingwithchefbryan.com, grab the recipe, and of course you can always find me on social media. I'm on Instagram. You can find me there as Chef Bryan Woolley, and Instagram is the one that I pay closest attention to. So you can send me a direct message on there so I can see it and help you out with something that you may need help with in your cooking apparatuses in your kitchen. Head on over, grab the recipe, everybody. Seriously, I can't wait for you to try it. Thanks so much for joining me, everybody. I'll see you all next time. You can find all of these complete recipes on my website, cookingwithchefbryan.com.